the origin of sin and evil. How people love to ask this question. Their minds, overwhelmed with pain and doubt, search for logic in what was never bound by logic. They see destruction, death, evil, and ask, why did God allow it? As if he started it all. They speak this way because they do not understand. They do not see the truth revealed before their eyes. The Bible is an open book, accessible to all. Some even read it with their eyes. But how many read it with their whole heart? Some dig into mysteries that even we, heavenly beings, were not allowed to see. They touch what the Lord himself chose to hide. And when, not finding answers, their minds crumble under the weight of doubt, they turn away. They reject the scriptures simply because they couldn't solve a mystery that cannot be explained. They are blinded by traditions, clouded by false interpretations, and thus fail to see who God truly is, what his law means, what his kingdom is like, and what sin really is. Even I cannot explain what sin truly is or where it came from, though it was born in me. It cannot be justified, for if it could be, it would cease to be sin. Sin, as it is written, is the transgression of the law. That means direct collision with the foundation of all existence, the law of love. Before my rebellion, the universe was pure. Peace and joy were the norm. Everything was in harmony with the Creator's will. We loved him. We loved each other, without envy, selfishness, or conditions. And his only begotten Son, Christ, was the very word of the Creator. His unity with the Father was perfect. His will was the will of God. The Father created everything through him. Angels, powers, dominions, all. I saw all heaven bow before him. Honor and glory flowed to him like a river. At first, I too bowed. I bent the knee. But slowly, something else began to stir in my heart. One day the Eternal gathered us all. The Father ascended the throne, and with him, his Son. All the glory of the Father surrounded them in blinding light. And then God exalted his Son. He declared that from now on the will of Christ is equal to his own, that the presence of the Son is as the presence of the Father, that we are now under his authority. All bowed in reverence and awe. So did I. Yes, but inside, I was boiling. Envy was burning me from within. Why not me? Do I not shine with glory? Wasn't I given one of the highest places? Am I not the covering cherub? I lived in the light of God's glory, closest to the throne, and angels gladly obeyed my commands. But all that was nothing compared to what was given to Christ. I began to question, at first silently, then aloud. Why is he above me? Why is only he given such authority? Am I not worthy of more? I began speaking publicly, as if concerned for angelic freedom, saying we are perfect beings, not needing laws, that our minds are holy enough to govern without them. But deep inside, it all came down to one thing. I wanted more. I wanted to be like him. I wanted to be God. At first, I played my game in secret. When I spoke with angels one-on-one, I carefully disguised my doubts under a mask of devotion. I called laws restrictions, said that Christ's exaltation meant we were losing our freedom, and I saw the same feelings begin to grow in many of them. Some angels doubted my words, but some agreed. I knew it was a great risk, but I was certain I would succeed. The Father understood everything, and his Son spoke to me, begged me to turn back. He showed me the Father's law, his love, his order. He warned me. He called me to return. All heaven was praying for me. Yes, there were moments, of course there were, when love returned to my heart. When in the rays of light, during angelic worship, as they sang praise to the Creator, I once again felt the joy and devotion I was losing. But then again and again, I was overcome by pride, envy, hatred, and the irresistible desire to be first again. So I made a decision. I would no longer bow, neither to him, nor even more so, to his Son. I gathered my own. I said, God is unjust, and his Son a usurper. Only I deserve the throne. We deserve freedom. We deserve to be equal. I promised them power and a new kingdom. From now on, I am their ruler and leader. And they followed me. Thus began the war for power, for worship, and for the throne, the great battle for every soul. Heaven stood still, hearts trembled, the light mourned. The Father, silent, his Son, grieved. But I had already crossed the line. There was no turning back. I had chosen war. And so, the universe was torn apart. From harmony, division. From light, shadows. From worship, war. A third of heaven followed me, but we did not find freedom. We found emptiness. And the battle broke out. Not with swords, but with truth and lies. With loyalty and betrayal. With light and darkness. It was the first war, the origin of all war. But in the end, we were cast out, banished from the glory we once knew. The gates of heaven shut behind us, and silence fell in heaven. But I burned with rage. My war was not over. Now I walk the shadows, not as a prince of heaven, but as a deceiver. And I whisper still, to every heart that listens, because the battle has only just begun.